Hello, people of the interwebs. We are back here again with another episode of Kicking It with Kpop. I'm here with the awesome. I don't know where my hands are going, whatever you're at. Jason Sandberg. Hi, Jason.
Hello. Thank you so much for having me on.
You're welcome.
I think you started showing up in the chat. I think the first
We
episode of
did.
the Friday nights, or like a very early on. So
Yeah.
thank you for your ongoing support and showing up and all that.
You're welcome. I love lurking in there. That's usually what I do because I like lurking in there. But then it's kind of hard not to when you guys say some dumb topics, and I've got like you gotta go ahead and say something.
And of course, you were on our 1 year anniversary show, so that was a lot of
I
fun.
was. Yes. Congrats on your 1 year, by the way. Yay. It's fantastic.
Gonna keep on going. Oh man, we got all kinds of people in the chat.
We do. Let's go and say hey to them. All the way from 9:04 a.m. we have GT Comics. What is up, GT Comics? And all the way from New Mexico, we have Lost Cruces. What is up, Lost Cruces? And one of my previous guests, we have Aaron, and also you've co-hosted with him many times.
Good guy. Go check out Immortal Rising 2. You can pick up issue 1 and number 2. It's a great book.
Oh, yeah, it looks lovely. And another person that I absolutely adore that has fantastic books. We got John here from Part-Time Comics. Dude, I have Argyle sitting on my bed right now, and I love his books. And we have you right here.
Yes.
Bam, right there. You know, it took me a hot minute when I see this picture because I'm so used to you wearing your sunglasses. Who is this guy?
and it is me. It is me. That picture is like 6 or 7 years old. But my eyes are so bad that I have to.
Yeah.
If I wore my regular glasses, you'd be like, he can't draw. He can't see. So maybe I'll do this. I'll do this for a little while. See if this.
Okay. In this picture, you remind me a little bit of David Tennant in that picture. Okay. Yeah, I can see that. It's a good time.
I used to get Michael J. Fox when I was in high school. I looked like Michael J. Fox, and then for a while there it was Tobey Maguire. But I think I've obviously getting a little older.
Listen, we're all getting there. You know, that little thing is doing a little droopy droop right now. Yep. I'm like, oh shit, yeah. It's like, oh, it happens when you get to your 40s. You're like, oh, poor skin.
Age.
I know.
Time.
We could rewind that clock just a tiny bit. You know, what's up, Christina? One of the best mods is of the all time, and you're already out here dropping some links. Thank you very much, Christina. Thank you. And then all the way from the UK, my other greatest mod of all time, we got Glenn happening here. Yes, let's go, Glenn. And then we have one of the most awesome people I think of all time. We have Good Stuff happening. What's up, Good Stuff?
He's a Renaissance man. Video editing, prankster, comedian, chef.
All the above. I'm looking forward to his cookbook. He looks like he has some good recipes in there. And I love his shenanigans. I remember when we watched an entire Ministry concert together. Nice. Good times there. Good times we're ahead. Wow, we have a lot of stuff happening. Computer screen eyes. Yeah. That's why we're in the darkness over here too, because holy moly, my eye glare is going bananas right now. Plus, I was just glued to my TV. I was watching the Lions kick absolute ass on the Cowboys right now. I know.
Good deal.
Yeah. And if you guys don't know, we will be we're doing watch parties all month long for the Low Grays Watchathon, and we're doing Hatchet tonight. So come watch Hatchet with us. Probably, I don't know, soon. Whenever that happens. Yes, there is a link right there. Go click on that. And yeah. So Jason, we're gonna get weird. It's time to get weird with you. I know.
Hello, I'm used to that. I've been embiggened.
You have been embiggened. Now I'm going to ask you the hardest question of all time. Who are you? What do you do? Why are you here?
My name is Jason Sandberg. I am the writer, artist, illustrator, colorist, letterer, publisher of Jupter. What is Jupter, you might ask? Well, many of you have heard of OMAC. OMAC is Jack Kirby's one-man Army Corps. Well, Jupter is the other kind of OMAC. It's a one-man anthology comic. So it's 40 pages, full color. This is issue 1. It's in demand on Indiegogo. If you put in an order for it, it ships the following day. It's 40 pages of high-quality art and entertainment. So I said one-man anthology comic because I can't sit still, and I cannot get put in a box. So what I did was I said, you know what? I want to make an anthology comic, but it's all stuff from me. So there is a ongoing story that we'll kind of get into the meat of in a bit. But Jupiter is, since it's 40 pages, I've got this huge canvas,
Ooh.
and I have an ongoing story that I'm telling. But beyond that, I've got the opportunity to tell these like short stories and these vignettes and do some little gag strips and things like that and mix up my art style, like basically do whatever I want. So I think that's the unique selling proposition of Jupiter is that it's really not like any of the other comics out there. Now it does pay homage to Silver Age like
Ooh.
comics. There is surrealism, there's super heroics and so forth. There's some social commentary. There's some humor and things like that, and some surrealism. But I think that is Jupiter is me expressed as a comic book because I'm a very uh, complicated, multifaceted person. So that's why I have a lot of fun doing this book here. So that is me. I I'm hard at work on Jupiter issue 2, and it
Ooh,
should
nice.
go. The campaign should go sometime like next year, but a little over halfway done. In terms of crowdfunding, I want to make sure I've got the book like 90% done before I launch the campaign for issue 2. So issue 1 is it's approaching $9,500. And so I figured, you know what? It's going to be a while before I can get issue 2 ready. So I started making the rounds, started reaching out to people, doing some shows so I could see if I could get it to 10K. I think I'm going to be able to get it to 10K. So I'm kind of like on a low key publicity tour to get eyes on issue 1 so that when I launch issue 2, there's kind of like a there's more people that are looking forward to it, more
Yeah.
word of mouth and stuff like that. So that's what brings me to your show.
Yes.
There you
Come
go.
to the show. Come and get new eyes on your project. Let's see what's happening on here. This looks fascinating. Let me go to actually your campaign page
Yeah.
real quick. And well, not real quick because we're gonna be there a hot minute, but we're gonna go and peruse it. There we go. There we go. There's your lovely page. So if you are wondering, this is on Indiegogo. They're in demand phase, meaning we don't really know when it's going to end, but the campaign actually has ended, but it's in demand, meaning wherever you go until you start shipping, basically, is going to stay up there.
And that's why I went with Indiegogo because like Kickstarter, it's exciting because there's a limited time that the campaign's open.
Yeah.
But Indiegogo becomes its own storefront, and I sell several issues every month. So there might be a point at which Indiegogo says, "Hey, you haven't sold any in 6 months. We're going to pull the plug." But by and large, it
Oh.
becomes a storefront. So
Hmm.
this is basically my storefront as we continue to kind of plug away, and and I think the other thing is I've noticed that if you like on Twitter, whatever, if you put out a comment, sometimes like 6 months later, someone stumbles across it and they
Yeah.
reply, and you're like, "What's up with
Isn't
that?"
that so strange?
It is, it is. So then I said to myself, "Hey, you know what? Um, all this marketing work I'm doing and all these like shows I've been on stuff, and if I'm gonna go on like a bunch of shows, I can do all this marketing work. Um, you can't control when somebody stumbles across you. So how terrible would it be if they clicked on your link and it was a dead link?" So I
Yeah.
said, you know what? I'm going to go with Indiegogo versus Kickstarter. So that's what brought me
Okay.
there. Hey,
It's
Michael.
really, yeah. What's up, Michael? Super awesome if you don't know, by the way, in chat. But yeah, it's really interesting to me how that works too, because I find a whole ton of campaigns or like people that I interact with when I'll go to their page and I click their links, but it's a bunch of like either dead links or the campaign had just ended and I missed it, which is so sad to me because there's sometimes I'll find stuff and then I don't see them coming back again
Yeah.
for a long time. And that
Yep.
makes me sad because I no, I want this. But that's one of the things I really like about Fun My Comic and Indiegogo is they do have that option to do the in demand. I also really appreciate on Indiegogo how you can make it where it's all or nothing, or whatever you get is whatever you get. And I think that's vital to some of the campaigns because there's sometimes I see some campaigns that miss it by $20.
Yeah, it's crazy.
And I'm like, oh, you got to do that all over again. And if that's the case, you just do it and go in demand, whatever you want, just leave it up and running. But oh my gosh, that would be heartbreaking for me to get so close and then just have to like feel defeated for a bit.
Very frustrating. Very frustrating.
Yeah, I do see that Kickstarter has done their version of the late pledges, but it's still kind of super new to the point where it's kind of not running so smoothly kind of situation. But I'm always a big fan of indie and how they do the in demand type situation, because I've backed more campaigns, I think, in the in demand phase than I have
Okay.
in the campaign page, because
Yeah.
it's kind of hard when you do so many of these a month. Like, you can't back
I know. I know.
everybody.
I
Like,
know.
I would be on the street, I think, living in my cardboard boxes if that was the case. But holy moly, yeah, you can't.
Yeah.
It's impossible. Yeah.
I'm lucky because I just do like one show a week. So when it comes to like backing, backing the guest is pretty easy. But yeah,
Yeah.
you help like you shine a light on like a lot of people. You help a lot of people. That'd be pretty expensive. The other thing
Yeah.
I like about Indiegogo is that unlike Kickstarter, they
Uh-huh.
don't ask you for your address. I mean, it's like I have given Kickstarter my address. So it's like, come on. How about like you just put in your address, and if your address change, you change your address. But it's like every time a campaign ends on Kickstarter, it's like so
Yeah.
and so needs you to tell them what your address is. It's kind of crazy.
Yeah, that's interesting to me. Yeah, I had the only time I ever had an issue, it was I want to say a week ago, but I think it was during the time that like there was some kind of like weird hacking thing that happened. I
Okay.
tried backing a campaign. So somebody paid me money to get an ad space on a thing for here, because they wanted me to get my page on inside of a book for a
Okay.
thing. But I tried backing 4 times, and it would get all the way full, successfully done and backed. And then I would immediately get an email from them saying, hey, there was an error. It didn't go through. And it happened like the whole day. I had to wait like 2 extra days just to go through to try backing again to see if that went through. And I don't know if it was like during the time, like there was some weird like internet stuff happening.
Yeah.
So yeah, I think that might have been a problem at the time. Let's see. We got more people in the chat. We got Ken.
Yeah, it's
What's up,
good.
Ken? You got Kev. What's up? And A1 sauce chopping in here with jupe of tur. Nice. I like that you're always coming in here with some jingles. I love it. You love the images with a newsprint look. Ooh, fascinating. Yes.
I'm kind of proud of that. I wanted, a lot of people do that. They try to homage the newsprint or create
Yeah.
that feel. I find typically people, it's too overpowering. So I actually went through 3 different iterations where I created, and I started by saying, hey, I want to replicate the mid 80s Marvel Comics 32 color flexographic print. So I grabbed their colors, and then I made a pattern. I played with the foreground dots and background dots, and I actually gave it to a printer, and they on their high res proofing soft machine. I went back 3 times till I got it just right, because the trick is you want to be able to see the dots, but you don't want them to be so overpowering that you lose the lines. And then I found an actual I scanned in some sandpaper, and then I played with the transparency to get the feel of the newsprint. So I feel I put like a lot of sweat equity into getting my fake newsprint to look like fake newsprint. I feel
I
very proud of that.
dig that so much. I am a fan myself of textured art. I like the textured paper over a smooth paper any
Mhm.
day. I just something extra fun about that happening on there. And I like it when people do like the old school style, like textured newsprint looking, but like on like the regular papers, like it gives you just like an added bonus, because not many places do newspaper printing anymore, which is sad because I really truly love the feel of that newspaper print. Yeah.
Definitely.
Yes. Phil, I know Phil is a huge into this as well. He says a great realistic retro feel to it. It sure does.
Thanks, Phil.
Oh.
So the main story of Jupiter is the main story is that character there, Brenda, and it takes place in a world where there's no superheroes. Because in
Oh.
my mind, one of the problems with Marvel and DC is they're just crowded. They're overcrowded with too many superheroes, and they're not special. It's like take your superhero to work day, like the Avengers, X-Men, and they're just standing around, right? So I said,
Yeah.
okay, if I want to do a superhero story, I'm going to start from square one where there's no superheroes, because I'm going to make sure that my superhero is special. Now, in the world of Jupiter, there's no superheroes except for the ones that exist in comic books. So in the world that I've created, back in the 1950s, Jack Kirby and Joe Simon had a publishing company of their own called Mainline Comics. And so in the world of Jupiter, they created this astronaut character called Captain Kleinbottle. And that character and that series did really well. And in the world of Jupiter, uh, Jack Kirby never had to go back to work for Marvel in the 60s or DC in the 70s. So all the crazy wild ideas that he came up with in the world of Jupiter, he put into Captain Kleinbottle. So he became wealthy as a result of his own creations, his own IP. Became like a revered Walt Disney figure. Was very successful. So I wrote a happier ending for Jack Kirby, who's one of my heroes in the world of Jupiter. So the only superheroes are the ones that are in the comics. So that's where in the book I'll have them reading the comics, and I use that fake newsprint to create like a diegetic experience where it's the comic within a comic. So in the world of Jupiter, there's no superheroes except for the ones in the comic books, and the main character, her name is Brenda. At the beginning of the story, we find her and her family going up north to a cabin in Minnesota, and you don't know why they're going to a cabin, but you know that they're going to get away from some sort
Mm.
of tragedy. Now, I do not tell you what that tragedy is. In the first issue, I put in some clues as to what the tragedy is, but she is like trapped because she's got the kind of personality where she wants to solve problems, but she can't fix this problem. Her parents they're processing something very tragic. So she feels like she's being swept along in their wake. She wants to get away, but she loves them, but she can't help them. And they go to this cabin. Now, on a hike, a hole in reality is ripped open, and a revolution in a neighboring dimension smashes into their otherwise normal world. This sets off a chain reaction, which in the coming issues is going to result in her becoming her world's first, only, and greatest superhero. So there's only going to be one superhero. It's her. And there's going to be plenty of threats because as a result of what you're seeing right there on the page, with that hole opening up and that vehicle coming through, um, threats on Earth, threats from beyond Earth are going to be coming towards her and her family. Now, she's going to have the ability to literally go anywhere. She's going to be able to open up portals. She could
Oh,
escape.
nice.
She could run away from home. She could never have to do homework again, never have to grow up. She could be like Peter Pan. And but she's got to decide between fight or flight. Does she run away or does she stay and fight? And that is going to be her decision to make. And along the way, you're going to be with her, seeing her incrementally become that superhero.
Oh, I love it. And some of my favorite things that I've seen so far are on your Twitter or any place that you have like video options or images. Your images that you have are so fun to see. It's like literally a moving comic,
Mhm.
and it like really sucks you into whatever panel that it is that you're showing on there. And I think that's quite fascinating. I love your color choices as well.
I had a lot of fun. I had to teach myself Adobe Animate.
Okay.
And, so I got the first issue of Jupiter, like, 90% done, and then I said, "You know what? I'm gonna have to do marketing, I'm gonna have to do videos," so I taught myself Adobe Animate. So if you like my trailer or you like some of the stuff I put on Twitter, it's all the art from the comic book. I just take the different layers and I put them into Adobe Animate and move them around,
It's so
and,
cool.
it's a lot of fun.
It's so cool. I really love that. And hang on one second. I want to say, Joe says he actually works in Jupiter, Florida.
Nice.
Nice. And you remember Alterna used, yeah,
Mhm.
there's only a certain amount of printers that do the newspaper printing. Not
Yep.
everyone does that. Not everyone does printer plates either. There's like a bunch of companies that go and do like other things. But yeah,
Mhm.
I do really enjoy newspaper print. But I have seen a few like recent comics that have done justice to like the old like silver golden age where they like make that themselves but on the regular paper, and I think you do a fantastic job also of that too. It
Thank you.
looks like a classic book.
Thank you.
And do girls go to Jupiter to get more stupider, or is this different?
I don't I don't know good stuff. I can't help you there. But, that Captain Kleinbottle character, that's so she right there, she's gonna read the Captain Kleinbottle comic book, and she does in the first issue. But
Okay.
Captain Kleinbottle, it allows me then to, like, do some art in the style of Jack Kirby and have, like, a lot of fun. He is like the lighthouse or like the North Star that's gonna kinda incrementally guide her as she's confronted with these issues and these threats. She's gotta decide between fight or flight. But,
Nice.
it's if you suddenly got the, like, superpowers or the ability to basically, do what's essentially magic, it isn't
Mhm.
a foregone conclusion that you're gonna become a superhero. So having this through line of this Captain Kleinbottle character, it's going to guide her inadvertently to becoming a superhero. So it's going to be fun to watch in the subsequent issues.
Very lovely. I can't wait to see it. And I actually want to play your trailer as well
Yeah.
too. But before that, we have two questions from Phil here, and
Yes.
Phil wants to know is how do you decide on a printer?
Yeah. So what I recommend is when you call around, ask the printing companies if they're G7 certified. So G7 Crackle is a color management procedure where you because what you want is what you see on your computer screen to be accurately printed on the page, right? That ultimately
Mhm.
that's what you want,
Yeah.
and of course price matters. But G7 Grackle is a color management strategy where the press first perfectly balances the black from 100% down to like 10% black, and so that creates the spine of the colors of the color gamut. If that black and white spine isn't correct, things are going to be too hot or too cold. And so the printing process is CMYK: cyan, magenta, yellow, and black. They first get that black spine correct, and then as they lay on the additional colors, they're comparing the rich blacks, meaning mixing cyan, yellow, and magenta, and against the solid black to make sure that they're accurately not they're not too hot or not too cold. Because if a press is too hot, there's too much red; too cold, there's too much blue. So as an artist, you're working so hard to get what you want it to look like on the screen. If you give to a printer based solely on price, if they're not going to match the colors aren't going to map correctly. So if someone's looking for a printer, I would say when you talk to them, ask them if they're G7 certified. And then secondarily, you say, like, look at price and things like that. And also it's important to let them know that you're doing a comic book. So it isn't like a sales brochure. It isn't something
Yeah.
that's going to get printed, mailed, go into a mailbox, and then recycled. This is essentially like an artifact, and that they understand that importance versus just treating it like some sort of catalog where the colors can be off a little bit. Nobody cares. They just want to get their marketing out there. I think that's the best advice I could give to anybody who's an artist who's looking for a printer.
That's very good information because this is the first time that I actually mentioned that because a lot of people for the first time printing, they don't know that there's a difference between RGB and the CYMK.
Yes.
Especially when they go to send their proofs to the printer and then they end up having to redo it several times because then they waste more time because they don't know which file format to put it in. So
Yes.
that's huge. Always, I would say, hit up a bunch of before you go to Campaign Wise, hit up a bunch of printers, hit up like Pirate Ship, hit up a bunch of companies like that before you go because you really want to get a very good number on your cost before
Mhm.
you even go and make your goal amount as well. And let's see, yeah, similar to Pantone scale maybe.
So Pantone is uh, Pantone is pre-mixed colors. So for instance, if I'm like Target, I've got a special red, or if I'm Best Buy, I've got a special blue. Those are PMS colors. So those colors are manufactured so that at the printing press, they'll have like 6 or 8 vats. So CMYK will go in the main vats, and then they'll put a specialty color or a coating in the other vats. So so it's not quite that. However, if you've got a Pantone color in your art and they're G7, they will likely correctly map the CMYK to the values of the Pantone. So the
Oh,
PMS
nice.
colors, the Pantone management system, that's important. But unless it's like the cover, it's very unlikely that anybody would put a special PMS color in a vat on a press. They would just match it with CMYK. But if they're G7 certified, they're likely going to be able to hit the color.
Oh, for sure. And this is what I was saying earlier about how I love your color palette. Like you do some really amazing colors, and I love the way that they move together when you're doing the images that you did that you were saying you did it in Adobe. But I love your color palette. Your color palette is just fascinating to me.
Thank you. I actually developed my color palette over about a 10-year period. So I would basically, because if you're doing a comic on
Hmm.
page 1 and page 30, you want the shirt color to be the same, right?
Yeah.
So a danger people run into is their colors begin to like they begin to use the eyedroppers too much, and then the color drifts.
Yeah,
So
that's right.
I
Yeah.
would do art, and then I would lock in the colors, and then I would do prints, and I'd validate to say, hey, how do these work together? Or does on the screen this yellow looks very vibrant? When you print it, maybe it doesn't look vibrant? So I have managed my colors and added to them and tested them over the past 10 years, and I feel pretty good about the swatch library I've got. I
Nice. I
I
love
know
that.
how it's going to look when it prints.
I love that. I like that. I like that you put in all that time to get that with your coloring, because I think that's the one mistake that a lot of like the new guys, when they go to print something, don't really register the color correctly, because they're so used to doing the bright screen. They don't do the layers. They're so used to just printing how they see it, but they don't realize it's going to transition completely different when you print it
Yes.
to the paper. And depending on what paper you're using, it's going to be even more different. Like your blacks are going to bleed through more. Your printing, it's going to get kind of lost in your printing process. So I like that you took the time to do that.
The other thing, if you're an artist out there, generally
Let's see.
speaking, when it comes to the ink coverage, they never want to go over 300% ink coverage. If
Yeah.
they go over 300% ink coverage, literally as they're laying down the inks, you begin to get variations in the surface. And so like the inks literally build up and like they won't dry, or you get offsetting and things like that. So if you are building a color palette, periodically use the eyedropper and look to see that cumulatively with your four colors, that you're not cumulative over 300%. Otherwise,
Okay.
believe me, you're gonna run into trouble. The other thing is, obviously, a lot of people a lot of people became artists like in the 90s, early 2000s, because they were doing like web design, and that was all that was all RGB, and it was all screen
Mhm.
resolution. So a
Yeah.
lot of people, they go their art resolution's too low, and then they go to print it and it looks terrible. So like
Yeah.
I work at 400 DPI, and then when it prints, it's likely going to be like 300 DPI
Okay.
after it's gone through everything.
And we have a lot of people in the chat saying that they really love your coloring that you used. And Michael is saying we have a meticulous artist on our hands. You love it, and love the colors as well. It lends so well to the field of start. Yeah, right. Watch when we get to the actual pages where you're showing where you actually created the ones that are movable. So I want to play your trailer in a
Yeah.
minute. But we have let's see. And he says, "Oh, thank you for being here. You're always welcome here. I love that." And Shelby's coming with some hot knowledge. Pantone screwed anyone using Adobe products with Pantone color style. You have to get a special license now to attain their palette. You had to
Yeah.
adjust our course of study in the entire print department because of it. Dang.
Yeah, that was I think they really American Discord. I think
Yeah.
they shot themselves in the foot. When it the printing. I think what happened was they saw when Adobe went to the license and the cloud-based apps, they said, "Oh my gosh, nobody's pirating Adobe anymore. Let's get in on this." And they said there's so much money going into Adobe, and to Adobe's credit, they really, in terms of the subscription, um, they add the Creative Cloud suite. It's expensive, but there's a lot in there. There's a lot in there
Yeah.
between the different desktop apps and then the animation and the so I think the Pantone definitely did. They got too greedy. Now in the printing industry, it's the printing industry does not want to ditch the PMS colors because they're known and they're reliable and things like that. It is unfortunate what they did. Kyle, this is the first time I've seen Kyle. I think this is the first time I've seen Kyle show up in a stream.
What?
Kyle,
He's
good to
always
see
in
you.
here.
Good to see you. I see him a lot on
We
Twitter,
love
but it's
our
kind of rare
Kyle.
to see him show up in the chat.
He did a couple of interviews in the last or month or so, but yeah, I love it when
Nice.
he pops in on here. But yeah, no, he has a web of knowledge when it comes to indie and like sharing things and all that fun stuff. But yes, it is visually appealing. I really enjoy everything that I've seen that you have done so far. And Phil, I am adding and saving all your questions right now. Wait, what are you saying here? You always found it weird that you can copyright a specific color. Really? You can do that? You can copyright a specific color when you can make your own colors on like that's interesting.
You can register. There's a Belgian artist post World War II. He trademarked a certain blue. I've got a art book over there. I can go find it later. But yeah, technically you can.
Coke red, for example. Okay. Dude, that is fascinating.
Yep.
I would in a million years thought you could do that, or like you would be able to, because it's just a color on a color like thing that can move around. Oh, let's play your trailer. Let's do
Yeah.
that. Let's do that
And then
first.
the trailer is like 5 shorter trailers. So if you want to play one and we can pause and talk versus like going
Sure,
like 3 minutes or whatever.
no problem. No problem. Do that. What's happening? What?
So that one's a good trailer because it's a good. It kind of shows a mix of styles, mix of atmospheres.
I really, really feel like the way that you use your color palette and the way that you're moving around, uh, just the object in here, it just gives you that like old school style children's illustrated book,
Yeah, I can
which is
see that.
my absolute favorite storytelling of like all time. That's I literally have book upon book upon book of that, and I would watch a series of this. Just the way that you have this animated, I think it's fascinating, and I love it. It's really good.
Thank you, thank you. And then those were quotes that I feel very. But some of those quotes I feel very honored by, and especially the Scott McCloud one, because I had done Jupiter in the '90s as a black and white indie,
Mm.
and it caught Mr. McCloud's attention. I'm a huge fan of Zot. So those of you that might be a little bit older, he did Zot in the mid '80s to the early 1990s. Fantastic book. It was ahead of its time. If you like manga, there's a definite manga influence in Zot. If you like retro stuff, there's a good feel. The good mix of like 1960s sci-fi and Zot. But anyways,
Yeah.
he's the creator of Zot, and then he also did the book Understanding Comics, Reinventing Comics, Making Comics, and then most recently his last graphic novel was The Sculptor. So if you know if nothing else happens with me career wise or art wise, I feel very honored that he gave Jupiter such a great shout out.
Oh, that's so awesome. I really love like when some people that you're growing up with come back and acknowledge that your work that you're doing. And I
Yes,
think that's such a really cool thing to people that strive to be like creators, that happens to you, because I've had a couple people that I've looked up to my entire life that have left comments in my DMs or on my pages,
nice.
and I'm like, holy crap, that's such an amazing feeling when you have that happen.
The first comic book I picked up was Captain America 214, 1977, Jack Kirby.
Yeah.
It jumped off the spinner rack at me. The first indie comic book I got into was Nexus by Mike Baron and Steve Rude.
Okay.
So 1983, I'm sitting there in the grass reading Nexus #2. My mind is being blown because it's the artwork, the storytelling, the paper, the colors. It's 10 times better than anything that Marvel or DC are putting out. It's a life-changing experience for as a comic book lover. Flash forward to 2023, I get to like stream with Mike Baron. So it's like 40
Oh,
years later, I'm this kid, and 40 years later, I'm streaming with him with Narwhal and getting to talk to him and stuff like that. And then 2024, it's my birthday. It's my birthday, and Mike Baron shoots me a DM with a picture of Nexus that says "Happy Birthday, Jason," and I'm like, my God, what a world we live in. This is
nice.
amazing. This is amazing. So I love Mike Baron. Those of you, if any of you haven't given Nexus a try, check out Nexus. It's fantastic. But it's things like that where it's just, you have to pinch yourself. You're like, if nothing else happens, it was worth it, because I get to interact with these people that gave me endless hours of entertainment, expanded my mind, gave me great entertainment, and it's just fantastic.
I love that. And our resident alien is in here, and he's saying this is absolute fire. You should be absolutely fire this, because you're looking at some cool intergalactic beings here that are probably related to you, by the way. And, Phil says he is excited by this and just bought a copy. Thank you very much for buying a copy, Phil.
Thank you.
I don't know if you want to keep going playing the trailer. I know there's about 2 minutes left on it.
So,
let's keep doing it.
I comment one thing. So what you're seeing right here is that that other dimension where there's like the Civil War, and this is where the whole gets ripped in reality. When I did this scene, I wanted the drawings to the best of my ability. I wanted the drawings to feel like 1970s John Buscema Conan, but I wanted the colors to be psychedelic. I didn't want to go with like because oftentimes people default to like medieval, or they go with the grays, the browns, the beiges, the vellum and the canvas. I wanted to be like psychedelic. Someone do something different. So I had a lot of fun doing this scene. So enjoy.
Oh, it's so much fun. I love it. And I like that you went to psychedelic scale, because it's completely different, but also it makes you feel like you're in a different dimension. It makes you feel like you're in those alien worlds, which I really enjoy. And the color palettes are just absolutely phenomenal. I really, really appreciate all that stuff.
Thank you.
So yeah, let's go back over here.
Yeah, you see the colors before you see the lines. So I think colors.
You do,
colors
yeah. I mean, it's also interesting to hear, because the way that you're using your color palette, because there is no intense black, it's like these different riches instead of lines. So you actually have to lean in more to get a glimpse of like all the line work, the hashing, and all this other stuff in here, just to see what's kind of going on, which I like it. It actually makes it more interactive, which I think is neat.
I think one of the things that sets the indie space apart from the big two commercial space is that we're not on a deadline. And so we're not churning out, we're not hacking out work. So we can lavish all kinds of attention on the page, because we it's done when we want it to be done. And I do make an effort to make sure that whatever square inch of Jupiter you look at, it's a feast for the eyes. Now my art style might not appeal to everybody, but when it comes to you can't deny that I'm literally filling the page.
And Phil says I have but never read The Sculptor. Now I know what's up next. Yeah, no, I think that's absolutely gorgeous. Like, even though like the blop of like the ink that you have on the top of the page, like for the sky, it's just super pretty. I really enjoy this. All right, let's continue watching this a little bit, and then just tell me when you want to stop to talk a little bit more about what's going on.
All right, so that one might need some explaining. I'm sure people are like, what the hell's going on? So I mentioned that Jupiter's an anthology comic. So the majority of the story, the majority of the comic is this tale of Brenda and her family and so forth. That's like 24 pages of the book. So that leaves me some room to spread my wings and give you some palate cleansers. So I do a thing I call it placebo addiction, and it's basically an ongoing Dadaist Cubist comic book strip. So that little cartoon you just saw is actually a page from the comic. This page right there. So I got to do the comic book page and then animate it. And so I wanted to feel like like the Twilight Zone, like the intro to the 1960 Twilight Zone, where like the window comes down and the guy's like eyes are floating and all that kind of stuff. But then I wanted it to feel like a De Chirico painting, who is a Spanish painter, contemporary of Dali. I wanted it to feel like that. So that's kind of where the design element came for that. But again, that's part of like a 5 or 6 page Cubist strip. And what's fun about it is that there's recurring things that happen in this placebo addiction strip, and to some extent it can be read that way. It can be read that way, but it's a lot of fun because I get to literally do anything for a few pages. And my hope is that eventually when I'm done with Jupiter, these placebo addictions I can publish as like a book. And it's going to be, I don't know how many pages it'll end up being, but it's going to be a unique reading experience because you can read it that way. You can read it that way. It's a lot of fun. Let's me be a little bit weird.
Oh, what's up, World at War? Yeah, you definitely need to check it out. I have the link drop right here. So if you want to check that out, I'm going to play a little bit more of that because I think my delivery just got here. So what I'm going to do is go back to this view here and I will play this. Wait, hold on.
Sounds good.
I will mute.
And then can you hear me?
Sorry, what was that?
Can you hear me?
I can now. I had to run out the room.
It's okay. Could you go back just a little where the hourglass house was tripping out?
A
little bit further. A little bit further.
That's fine. Okay.
Yeah, right there. Perfect.
Okay. Want me to play it, or you want me to?
Yeah, if you could play it with audio.
Okay. Oh, okay. Was it playing audio?
Yeah, it muted, but that was because you had to go grab the door.
Yeah. Okay. Sorry.
It's okay. So that was a bit of guerrilla marketing on my part. I wanted someone to see that and not know if it was a game or an ad. And the premise is the only way you could win at comics is by not buying bad ones, and then you win by buying the good ones. So as the guy's not falling for the reboot gimmick or what the death gimmick, he's saving money. So a lot of fun.
Let's see. Hold on. You love Centipede? Yes. Oh, you can make some good music for it. No, that'd be fun. What's up, Johnny? Yeah. No, this is very cool. I am thoroughly just, I love everything I've seen on here. And I love the pages and coloring and everything. Yeah. So good.
So what's cool is because we had 2 stretch goals, we hit them both. So can I show people the first stretch goal?
Yeah, of course. Hang on, let me do this and then let me go there. There we go.
Perfect. So I mentioned earlier that there's a Jack Kirby inspired character called Captain Kleinbottle, who is kind of going to be inspiration for Brenda, my main character. And again, this is like as if Jack Kirby's mainline comics had continued past the 1950s. So to kind of fill in that kind of add to that world, I've the first stretch goal, what you get for free, is the Captain Klein Bottle fan club membership card, because in this world there would be a fan club. Now you'll notice because Captain Klein Bottle is a time traveler, the dates on the membership card go backward in time. Okay, then because it is a great 1970s comic book, it is sponsored by a pie company. So I've got a pie company right there. Right? Now that's not all. That's not all. On the back is a very important message that Captain Klein Bottle wants you all to know. So he wants you to have this in your wallet where you can get at this anytime you need it. The message of Captain Klein Bottle is that if you're not part of the problem, you are the solution. So the world is going crazy right now. There's people telling you that you are the problem. Whatever you're trying to do, whether go to work, take care of your family, have fun, play video games, read comic books, whatever. People are trying to tell you that you're the problem. They don't want you to have kids. They don't want you to do anything. They want you to just go away. They are the problem. You are the solution because you're not hurting anybody. So that's the first thing. So everybody who backs gets the Captain Klein Bottle fan club membership card. Then the second stretch goal we hit is the official Legion of Memers license to meme. So those of you that are aware of the Legion of Memers, they're that band of merry pranksters. I reached out to them. I said, hey, China, Russia, they're putting people in jail for memes. Australia, putting people in jail for memes. We have to help the people. So if you back Jupter, you get this for free, and you want to have this in your wallet so that you can clear any meme checkpoints, get past the meme police, because it's getting crazy out there. Hillary Clinton wants to ban the First Amendment. So does John Kerry. You need to have the license to meme. And then on the back is just a reminder that life is too short for bad comics, and we all like comics division. So those are stretch goals that we hit. So they are free to anybody who backs Jupter. And again, shipping and handling is only $5. If you put in an order, it will ship the following day, and it's got a flip cover.
Oh, that's awesome. And Joe kind of came in late, and he had a couple questions. He wanted to know, who did the art on this book?
It's all my fault. I'm the writer, the artist, the illustrator, the letterer, and the publisher. I do when I get the book like 90% done, I do have somebody proofread it for typos, but it is all me.
Oh, you did a great job, and you did everything. You also taught yourself how to animate things.
I did
for this.
It was rough. It was rough. I gave myself like 3 or 4 weekends. And let me tell you, the first couple weekends, I was just like, and because you're doing like Adobe Animate, they'll tell you, okay, follow this little tutorial and get your little basketball to bounce, and like my basketball was like going like pong. It was bad.
Crazy.
It was bad. Yeah, it was bad.
Let's see. And then Joe also says he's gonna make a meme about memes. Please do, and then meme him as well. Put him in there.
The Legion of Memers they've gotten me bad a couple times. So I got a thick skin. I'm used to it.
And this is fascinating. Here you can really see how you gave like that tribute to like the old school style, silver, golden age, even, some of that great stuff where you have that like texturized here. You can see that big time on that. And I really love that you are giving that homage to the back stuff, the good stuff. Then here's our main character here. She's lovely. I like her. And I like the different art styles too that you have in like the regular now time, and then when you go into like the futuristic style, I like the different changes in that too. I think that's fun.
It helps me not get bored, so it's good. Mixes it up.
And here's the cover here.
Yeah.
So let's like zoom in on this thing. I love how you have this on here. It gives you all the odes to like your favorite artists and your favorite books from back in the day. Sure. And I love that it does that, because I know there's a lot of guys in the chat that are big time into like silver and golden age and specific artists. And I think you kind of nailed all those kind of vibes in this book.
I try. The Jack Kirby is fun. I can only do a few pages of it because I'm trying to fight my own instincts as I'm doing it. And so I'll have like a Fantastic Four, like a reprint of Fantastic Four inked by Joe Sinnott, like next to me. And I'll kind of keep like looking back and forth. And it's fun. It's fun when you're done, but while you're doing it, you're fighting the urge to draw like yourself. And then my natural style, I'm my natural style. I'm trying to channel John Buscema, John Byrne,
Okay.
Friends,
Yeah.
Steve Rude. That's who I'm trying to channel. Like I'm filtering it through my own limited skill set. But that kind of finished illustrated style, that's what I'm going for when I'm not trying to be like say Jack Kirby.
Very cool. So I'm gonna drop a couple links in the chat. This one
Yeah.
here is for your YouTube channel.
Oh, nice.
You have a very cool channel that I've actually been on when you guys do your Friday. Would you like to explain a little bit about the streams that you guys do? Because you guys do some fascinating streams.
Yeah. So I'm on a show called The Friday Nights. We get together every Friday, 10 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, and sorry, it's me and it's Mad Ruth, who's the creator of Soul
Yes.
Tack, and it's Aaron C, who's the creator of Immortal Rising, and then there's always a fourth knight who's an honorary temporary knight who's number 4. And the premise of the show is that we are so busy being independent comic book creators that we don't know what's going on in the news. So
Yeah.
once a week we get together to cover the most important news topics of the week, such as like the Oscar Mayer Wienermobile crashed. They found more evidence of Atlantis in Lake Michigan. A woman was claiming to be having a gallery showing of Picasso paintings, but she actually had painted them all herself and no one knew. We cover hard-hitting, very important news stories. So we try to stay out of the internecine indie comics drama, and we cover that story. And then after we cover the most important news stories of the week, and we'll bust each other's chops and joke about them.
Always.
And then we'll introduce the fourth night and look at their campaign. Our theory is that if you're the viewer and you don't know that the new creator, if you see how they handle curveballs, if you see how they can ad lib, if you see what kind of sense of humor they have, it helps. I think people get to know them before they back. They're more likely to back their book if they get to know them better, versus just coming on and like shilling. We've had a couple people. I won't name names, who wanted to be on the show. And then the night before, Craig sent them the 3 topics, and they're like, "What the hell? What the hell? I want to come on and talk about my comic book." And it's like, that's not the show. That's not the show. I mean, some shows are like that, but that's not the show.
Not here. Yeah.
So.
No, I want to get to know you. The people in the chat want to get to know you. A lot of times it's their first time on here. Sometimes it's their first time doing an interview whatsoever. I am not going to bombard you with questions. We're going to hang out and have a good time and get to know your comic as well.
Exactly.
Come on here. What I like about the Friday show is it's more like you guys have jumped into the pages of like National Enquirer.
Hey, you're what you call the National Enquirer 6 months from now becomes the real news.
The real news. Yeah. So the National Enquirer gets the actual news before the news gets it, like months down the line. And that's exactly what's going on there. But it's hilarious to me because I love all you guys on there. You're so much fun. But yeah, some of the topics you get are just priceless. They're fantastic. And that's right, Kev.
Nice.
The Lions kicked some major butt today. Thank you very much. Oh no, it was just stomped from the start. There was no chance. That's right. Thank you very much for hopping in here. And Matt says you once had a placebo addiction, but was just a cover. Aw, yes. And I must have missed this. So what are we talking here, Katie? Italian, Mexican, or Chinese? I must have missed something because I popped out for like a. Dude, I did not see that part, and Pops just popped in here, gave me a $2 super chat, and let me know what happened. I don't know what happened, so now I have to go figure this out. So, yes, I will. I'll hear about the Hutchinson in a minute. Don't want to. Let's see. Oh, Joe was asking this question a minute ago because we were talking about your love for comics and some creators. He wants to know: do you have a big comic collection?
I do. So behind me on the shelves there, it's a crazy amount of comic books there.
Oh, wait, here.
Yep.
There you go.
So I've got the bookcase over there, and then let me go over here like that. Over there are the short boxes and all that kind of stuff. So yes, I've got quite the collection. I've been building it for almost 40 years. But yeah, big comic book fan. But my favorite comic book is
that's right. Yeah, plug that one. That one right
so. There. What are my mottos in life? It's a rule of thumb. and it has served me well in the past. And one of my rules is that if you pick up a random comic book and it has a pie ad in the back, it's going to be a good comic book. So I made sure that Jupiter had its own pie ad. And my
Yes.
pie ad features
Yes.
Salvador Dali. So this is just a little bit of the fun you're going to find in the pages of Jupiter is a fake pie ad. But go to your comic book shop, pick 10 random comic books. Tell me if I'm not wrong that the ones with the pie ads are better.
So my favorite era of comics is 60s to 70s DC because of the wackadoodle ads that are in those pages. You have sea monkeys. You have people trying to pump you up. You have people trying to turn you into criminals, okay? Making fake IDs, fake social security cards. They're having you hustle all kinds of things in those books. They're selling you handcuffs,
army
weaponry,
surplus.
all kinds of stuff. It's fantastic.
I love when like the ninjas showed up.
Yes.
It's like 1 month it's Johnny Atlas kicking sand in somebody's face on the beach.
The next month, ninjas. Yeah. It's the best.
Radio repair.
There's like ray guns involved, but the sea monkeys, man, they evolved to like the little dots and they actually had full-on characters that somebody, oh, come on, this is the greatest. There you go, right there. Yeah.
For free. Back Jupiter, you get a license to meme.
You gotta have that. You gotta have a license to meme, because guess what, Shelba? You can't meme unless you have that card. I'm just saying, you can't do it anymore.
You can meme, but this will keep you out of trouble. Because if you show this to the man, he's going to let you go.
Yeah. Justice is for children. I like that they also made them like you would have to sell a ton of stuff and they would have them out there on the streets hustling things for like a penny, like all the time.
What was that? Was that Root? What was that? Grit. Was it Grit where you had to like...
Yeah, it was like comic magazine subscriptions, and you had to do like packets of seeds for some reason. Like they were hustling like the weirdest things. Like that was like I love it. The 100-piece Army Man set. Yes. Oh, ribs fell for the sea monkeys. Oh.
I think. Oh, and I think there was also a Roman Legion's 100-man army set too.
Apparently,
random rips. You're gonna have to tell us more about selling grit. Like how many grit did you have to sell? Was it weekly? Was it monthly?
And what did you actually get from that?
I never took the bait.
Let's see. He recently sold his burlap delivery set for dang.
Nice.
You cashed in. Like 60 years later, you cashed in on this.
He beat inflation. All right.
Nice. This to me right here was one of my all-time favorite scenes that you had in your animation, because it was just like endless, like going in like the grains of sand. I absolutely adore this. Yes.
This is I was going for a walk one day, and just in my mind's eye I saw zooming into the house and then another house, and then how do I do that? But this is just an example. This is just one page from Jupiter. It's 6 panels, but in a way it could go on forever. It could go on forever. And I had when I animated it, I had a hard time deciding like how many times they're going to have it loop, because I didn't want it to get old, but at the same time I wanted to get the point across. So
it took 50 years to profit from that. listen, that's like 1,000,000% profit from that. Okay. We Are the Champions plays in the background. Yes. Oh, wait. Okay. So you sold a 35-cent paper to neighbors and kept a nickel for each one. You don't think you ever earned a prize. Oh, I told you, they had kids out there hustling on the streets for nothing.
So hold on. So did you get the newspapers for free, or did you have to buy the newspapers?
Oh, that's a good question.
Yeah.
That was a huge period.
35.
Get the kids out there. Oh, that's rough. That's harsh business.
We used to be a proper country where kids can work in mines and stuff like that instead of selling.
Now they're out there hustling sea monkeys and stuff. Let's go over your tiers as well while we're over here. Hold on, let me refresh this, because the slidey things. Yeah. Sliding. All right, there we go. Okay. So first of all, you're in demand. If you guys are just joining us, which there's like 70 people watching all the channels that we're on. I know, it's fantastic. You are here. You've already smashed your goal. You're in demand phase. Okay. So if people don't know what that is, it's basically going to be in demand until you basically ship in or done and want to move on and want to close it yourself. So we have no idea when you're going to be closing it. It's
effectively a storefront.
Yeah. So you're going to be storefront from here on. So that means when you do go and buy something, it'll immediately take your money out. It's still going to do that anyways on Indiegogo, but just remember that it's going to take your money out the moment you go and pledge. It's not like Kickstarter. I think no, Kickstarter and Zoop do that now, where they only pledge at the time of funding and if it funds, if it's gold. So you have your cover here.
Yep.
Plus the two thingies, because you have unlocked your stretch goals. So
Yep.
those are the two stretch goals.
And they are hefty. These are PVC plastic, and I've had them in my wallet for over a year. These things hold up.
Oh, they
The
look
official
solid. Yeah.
Legion members license to meme and the Captain Klein Bottle fan club membership card. You get these for free when you back Jupiter, $13, $5 shipping and handling. Order ship the following day. I got thousands of these things sitting over there because I put most of the money from the campaign into an overprint because I want to be selling these things for years, and I will be. But these guys here, these things right here, I think this is the deal breaker. People are on the fence about getting the comic and like, wait a minute, I get those too. So yes, everybody gets one of each of those cards.
Yeah. We have an update on Rips and his scheme here. Okay. Let's see. The paper was monthly with all kinds of good news and recipes. You had to pay upfront for the papers. Let's see. Rural housekeeping tips and whole herb types of the neighbors hated me. Okay, so you had to return them for the credit. Yeah. So how did you return them? Was there like a shipping facility that you went and picked them up? Because back in the day, like what? Like, how did you do that?
I don't think he came on the black on this. I think he definitely.
No, you probably still have seeds somewhere in a pile.
I think the smart move was to get the burlap sacks and then just wait 10 years.
Apparently, that's the way that you made your money. Yeah.
The OJ ads are hilarious.
Those are so good. I love, seriously, 60s to 70s ads, plus the clothing back in the day. Oh my God. Just the adventure and the action comics, when they go back and forth from like the 60s to the 70s, the amount of outfits that Supergirl was in during that time is hilarious. I buy those just to see what wackadoodle outfit she is in, because they change every book. They change her outfit. I know. Emo missed it. It's okay. We're still here. We're still chatting. I don't know how much longer we're going to be here because we chat. We like talking and we already hit an hour. But we're going to go over your tiers quick and we'll figure that out when we get over here. But that's okay. You can hit the rewind. It was good. But yeah, here. For $13, which is a really good price point. And how many pages is it in your comic?
40 full color pages. And
40 full colors.
Yeah, it's beautiful. It's a beautiful book. It is a beautiful book. And the other thing that people tell me is and it makes me happy. They go, "Hey, I read Jupiter, loved it, can't wait for the second issue."
Yeah.
And then like a couple weeks later, I was walking through the hallway and I saw it sitting on my long boxes, and I had to pick it up. And I had to sit through and I had to revisit it and read it. And I'm like, man, so people get multiple readings out of this thing. This is not throwaway literature. So the $13, you get multiple readings out of this, and I guarantee you, it's gonna haunt you.
Decent price point for a comic, by the way, for that amount of pages. I think that's cool, and it's quality as well. You get good coloring, good art, just a good story in there. I will go back and read that in a minute, Rips, and we'll check that out. So if you just want the one issue, all right, well, just the one copy, plus you get the cool cards there. That's $13 plus shipping. Is it? Yeah, plus shipping.
Yeah, $5. If you are in the United States of America, it's $5 for shipping and handling.
Wow,
can't beat that.
That's cool, and it's shipping worldwide.
It's like you can't buy a hamburger for $5.
You know, you really can't.
Crazy.
Unless you're getting a Happy Meal, which is my go-to. You know, the best deal. Plus, you get a toy. Other than that, you're not really getting much for $5. And then, so yeah, okay, you only got the 2 tiers. So this is fantastic that you only have the 2 tiers.
Yeah,
and you've already hit almost 10 grand in goals. So you get the one book for 13, or if you want the retailer tier, which is dope, it's already half off. You get how many books is this?
You get 8 copies.
8 copies? Wow, that's amazing for $52. That's really good.
Yeah, awesome. I've been very lucky. All of my local comic book shop owners have been great to me over the years. And I've had like 4 or 5 different LCSs. They've all been fantastic. They've always given me discounts, made great recommendations. Amazing. They paid attention to what I liked. I could talk to them. So and brick and mortar retailers, they're having a heck of a time. It's rough with the crap that Marvel and DC are putting out there. I mean, they've got to sell like Funko Pops and stuff like that, and Magic cards. So I wanted to do something where they could get this and do a good healthy markup on it and make some money.
I really love that, because I know there was a couple of shops here that got hit really bad a couple of years ago. My one that was down here, they mostly hustle the new stuff. They don't really have back issues, so they try to keep whatever's current out on the floor. and they might have one or two small boxes, but it's all the modern stuff. They moved from a different location, put all their stuff in the basement. So that while they were moving, so they had a ton of like the really old school previews, a ton of the really old school stuff. The whole thing flooded, and they had to toss, and I'm talking toss because it was flood water. You know, you can't get that back out of there. They had to toss thousands upon thousands of dollars of just stuff, and they could not recuperate from that. And it's one of my most beloved stores, and they do so much for the indie creators. They actually have, because our school down here for college for creative studies is down the street. They actually have a spot where they put up anybody's work in Michigan, especially if you're a young kid. They don't give a crap what it is. If you're putting it out there, they have a spot for you on your shelf. Nice. And they do so much for the city. And it is just that hurt me so much when I heard that, because I adore them so much.
It's too bad.
Yeah. It's rough, I know, but I really love some of these people because I've been shopping at some of these stores for over 30 years, and they become part of your family. You know, I follow all of them. They're on my Facebook page. I love seeing these guys, and when it's like free comic book day, I hit up all the stores. I don't even care if it's for the books or not. I go to visit the people that are there because they love art and comics so much. So I love doing all that kind of stuff. But yeah, here I'm going to drop the link one more time. This is a link here for your Indiegogo campaign. And I dropped the link to your channel. Your link to your Twitter is also down below.
I am most active on Twitter. When I was doing the open campaign, the initial campaign, I was trying to be everywhere, but I'm most at home on Twitter. And please follow me on Twitter. I will post Jupter stuff, and then I'll retweet artwork that I find interesting or whatever. And then obviously when they're really good memes, I'll repost those too.
What's up, Austin? How are you doing? I am a huge fan of the indie scene, especially what's happening on Twitter, which is really cool. I know Twitter, people are always like, oh my God, Twitter. Listen, there's drama everywhere. There's drama on YouTube. Just stay away from it. You don't need to be in the middle of it. And if you want to be in the middle of it, just watch from the sidelines. Just sometimes that's fun too, you know.
If you don't engage with it, the algorithm will reward you. So I typically don't see much stuff that makes my blood boil anymore.
I go to my following tab, and I have a lot of fun on there because I see a ton of just nothing but comic content that I like watching and seeing. And I am so blown away every time I log here. Let me go back to our faces for a minute. I'm so blown away by how many people I see in the indie sphere, even some of the old pros that share the campaigns, that share the things, that do a shout out or portfolio day. Kyle is out there hustling every day, getting campaigns out there, showing up there.
Yep.
He does amazing work. I love seeing him interact with people. And, hold on a second. Kyle, this is another Kyle, promiscuous time traveler, if you will. This is Jason, and he's definitely going to be taking your money because you need to show him his time traveler card that you have as part of the campaign. He needs to have this as a time traveler. He needs to have this.
So, you said his name was Kyle.
Mm-hmm.
So Kyle, one of the characters in Jupiter is named Captain Climebottle. He was a character who, in my world, was created by Jack Kirby. Started as an astronaut, and one of his missions got displaced from time. So the Captain Climebottle fan club membership card, you can see the dates run backward in time. You can't beat that. You can't beat that.
You got because he's a time traveler. Yeah.
If you back Jupiter, you get the Captain Climebottle fan club membership card for free.
That's right. Show him the meme card because this man is a meme lord. Yes.
The other thing is, I'm friends with the Legion of Memers, so I got together with them when I was going to launch the campaign for Jupiter. I said, "It's getting crazy out there. We need to stay frosty. We need to stick together." So we put this together. This is an official Legion of Memers license to meme. This will clear you through any meme checkpoints. It'll disentangle you from any of the meme police. You need this in your wallet. Last year, it was China and Russia that were arresting memers. Now it's going to be Hillary Clinton and John Kerry. So we need to stick together, and we need to make sure we keep cool heads and keep meming.
So this is the fun fact. Both cards come when you back the book. And if you back the book, it is only $13 plus $5 shipping in the United States. So
correct.
Not that much money, Kyle. They were both, the cards were both stretch goals, if you will. Here, let me get back to here. Show you that.
Yeah, so the cards were stretch goals for the comic book. It's in demand, meaning it's basically printed and available to ship. So if you back this comic book, it's $13 for 40 girthy pages. You get the free for free.
On your way. Yes. You're on your way. Yeah, that's right. And what's up, Rude? How are you doing? And I'm just gonna go show back some of the art that we looked at earlier, just that you guys are coming in, because there's a whole bunch more people that are popping in. Now we're almost at 80 people, so let's just
The
go
other
look
thing,
at more artwork.
can you make me full screen for just a moment?
Okay, hold on. Where are you? I lost track. I'm in all the things. There you go.
So this is the cover to Jupiter. Now I care about you. I care about you as consumers, as readers, as fans, as people who love comic book art. I'm not going to try and take advantage of you. Marvel and DC have this trick with the variant covers where they want to trick you into buying 2 comic books or 3 comic books or 5 comic books. I'm going to have none of that. I just want you to buy the 1 comic book. So to reward you, I give you 2 covers like this.
Damn.
So this is the cover. This is the Captain Kleinbottle cover to Jupiter 1, and this is the main cover. So you can't go wrong buying 1 comic book, getting 2 covers. I'm not going to do you dirty like Marvel and DC.
That's right. And we have a very, very, very great question from Kyle Prometheus. What is the international shipping to the UK? What is you know what your international shipping thing is?
I think it's 15. I think
15. Okay, that is still a cheap price point for international shipping, because I've seen up to $50 going overseas.
It's
and
crazy.
That's just to UK. Oh my gosh.
Yeah. So I think what happened was that when they voted for Brexit, I think the powers that be said, we're going to make them pay for this. And one of the things is just the customs and the shipping. It's crazy.
Well, I'm pretty sure you can figure out where your Indiegogo login, Kyle, is. You got this. Don't worry.
You can reset it.
You can travel back in time and travel back to the future when you remember it, and then log on, and then you can back it. I mean, it's infinity there.
So as a time traveler aficionado, you will love the Captain Kleinbottle subplot story in this. I don't want to spoil it. People love it. They're like, oh my God, I was like, I love the story, and then I love what you did with the story for the Captain Kleinbottle. In issue 2, I'm not going to repeat myself. I'm going to take advantage of Captain Kleinbottle being displaced in time, but it's going to be in a way that no one's expecting. I'm actually working on that now. I'm going to not show you the whole thing. I'm working on it. I'm going to show you the whole thing. But I'm working on it right now. I'm looking forward to it. I think it's going to blow everybody's mind. I don't know what I'm going to do for issue 3, but I'll worry about that when I get there.
Oh, fascinating. And yes, Kyle, I know you love it here. I'll show you more of the pages. And Kyle, I know you are a super good fan of like animation and anime. Go check out the trailer, because what you have done, Jason has done with the animation process and the coloring, I have a feeling you're going to be super, super a fan of. And here you can go see where the main character Brenda here is running into the lovely spaceship, or you will, time traveling device, or whatever you want to call this thing. What is this called again?
I'm just going to hint and say it's an arc.
An arc. There you go. An arc. But yeah, go check it out, because you could see the different coloring from like us here to like where you get to the space time, where you have all kinds of different lovely stuff. And he has a really good old school homage to like the newspaper printing, which I know a lot of you guys are fans of in the chat. So this is fantastic. And you have a lot of homages to like styles of like the older artists as well. But look at the coloring scope. It's fantastic. It's just absolutely phenomenal and blows my mind. This is one of my favorite animated scenes in the trailer. Just seeing that dino, just like it's so fun. I love it, and I really enjoy the color scheme that you have in here.
Yeah, if I ever become a billionaire, I'm not going to say anything, but you'll know. You'll know, because suddenly there'll be these elaborately animated videos of
I love it. Yeah,
aliens
so
riding
good.
dinosaurs crashing into castles. It's going to be nuts.
I think we had a very in-depth discussion earlier today about why there's so many pterodactyls in comics from like the 60s, the 50s and 60s. And I am such a fan. I love the Star Spangled War stories. Those are some of my favorites, because I love kaijus, but I also love monsters. So it's right up my alley. I love that stuff. Hang on one second. Do you have co-creators, have socials? Hang on. So here you go. This is his Twitter. Here you go, Austin. Go check him out here. You can follow him there. He also, if you guys are just popping in here, because I know there's more people popping in here, you do a lovely YouTube series as well. It's nice. I love hanging your show. You know that, because I'm in there quite often. And yeah, go follow him all those places, and go follow on the Indiegogo page. which I've dropped in here a bunch of times. But yeah, go follow him. He's super dope, super dopeness. But yeah, check out this. It's just so much fun. And yeah, I'm a fan of like, come on, monsters, dinosaurs, you got aliens, you got robot guys, you got cool just crap happening. Like I can't explain it more than just cool crap happening.
Not only that, you got cats, you got cats that vacuum.
Cats? Wait.
I've got a cat that vacuums a flying carpet. You can't get much trippier than that. I mean, what the hell?
A cat that vacuums a flying carpet. That enters into way more questions for me. Is this a magical vacuum? How is it still working as it's flying around? Is it attached to the carpet? Like how? What is the mechanics behind this? I'm fascinating. I need to know this. Oh, what's it, Froggy?
The cat strip is it's two kids and they're just pure. So the spirit of the cat strip is there's that point at which as a youth you realize that adults don't actually know everything, but they've got all the power. And there's always something on the periphery that doesn't quite make sense. Something just doesn't quite add up. So these kids in their neighborhood, they're slowly entering the age of reason, but then the cat is always doing this wild ass stuff. Like in this one here, the cat is riding this
triangle wheels.
Yeah.
Wait, here, let me make you giant so that we can really check this out. Like triangle wheels.
Yeah, it's like life is so unfair that scooter shouldn't even work. It's just it's a little subplot. I was more of a Heathcliff guy than a Garfield guy, and so I said,
for the streets. Yeah.
So I wanted to do this like a little, like not a Peanut strip, not like a Charles Schultz strip. I want to do something that kind of echoed that, but it had this aspect of this cat that gets away with everything. And these kids are like, they got homework. They're beginning to realize the world is unfair. And meanwhile, there's this cat that gets to do these things that break the laws of physics all the time. So
I like it. I like wackadoodle stuff. This has been phenomenal. And here you go. Here is the campaign page. I will link it one more time below. Go check it out. Go follow Jason on all the things. He's a delight and he is adorable. Go check out all the fun stuff. Yes. The cat is even trippier than Cheshire Cat. You know, that might be true.
There you go.
Not only is he trippier, he has space things. So
and he's got a hat.
He's got a hat and a vest, by the way. I saw the vest. The vest is pretty awesome. And yeah, just go check all this and go to the page too, because when you hit this play, the animation on that's phenomenal. And I really, really enjoy that. So I know you guys will too. So go check this out. And if there's any, let me see if there's any other questions before I got out of here. Okay, so we already kind of went over that. We already did that in the trailer. We don't really need to go into that one. And Phil wanted to know, what are folks using as Photoshop alternative? He's only found Affinity Photo. Good question.
I don't know. I pay for the Adobe subscription and I just write it off as a business expense. I couldn't point you in the right direction.
Way to go, Kyle.
I think Kyle's got grit. Kyle's got grit because he's not going to let any obstacle get in his way from getting Jupiter. So Kyle, kudos to you and being relentless, never giving up. The other thing is it is October. It is October.
That's right.
Which means it's a perfect time for spooky stories.
Spooky.
Jupiter does have a 4-page short story that is very spooky. It is very spooky.
Nice.
What happens is in this strip right here, this little boy hears something outside his window. He looks and he sees a dragon's tail. And so he ventures out into the night to hunt down the monster.
Ooh.
And what you see is that he's basically everywhere he goes, the monster is just on the periphery of his vision, but he's seeing these glimpses of these horrible monsters. And then I'm not going to tell you how it's tentacles. Yeah, not those kind of tentacles.
No, just not tentacles. It's
not the Japanese tentacles, but it is monster tentacles. And I won't tell you how it ends, but it's a beautiful little parable, perfectly suited for October.
Perfect. And apparently Emo was saying Bro is the best combination of the cat, the hat, and the Cheshire Cat. That makes sense. I think that's right. And yeah, GIMP is a good one, and so is Clip Studio. I actually really like, and Joe Boythel, by the way, they're actually pretty fun. And you could get Clip Studio for a couple of years. If you buy like the $50 tablet, it automatically comes with the subscription to that, so it's actually pretty good. Yeah, it's not bad.
Nice.
I'll use Affinity now, but yeah, a lot of people do that. No Shave October. It's just modern. Yeah. Yeah. I mean, Kev's got a fascinatingly amazing beard as well. So yes, awesome. And yep, it's been an hour and 20 minutes. Thank you guys for hanging in here. Thank you for coming in here. Thanks to everybody back. And thanks to Kyle, who made a brand new account to go back the book. Shout out to Kyle. That was great. Shout out to other Kyle as well for coming in here. Yes, I also thought it was November, but maybe it's October and November. Maybe in space, because it's time. You're gonna go back and forth into time. So yeah. But do you have any other things that you want to plug? Do you have any cons that you're gonna go to?
I'm not a big fan of just too busy with the day job and stuff like that for cons. But thank you so much for hanging out. And also I stumbled across you when you showed up in the chat for the Friday nights, and thank you for consistently popping in there and saying hi, and thanks for being on the 1-year anniversary show. We may, if we do a Christmas show, we'll have you on for the Christmas show.
Yeah,
but it was fantastic to hang out with you and actually stream with you. So I hope we do it again. Thank you so much.
You're welcome on here anytime. I do a lot of weird late nights too. I just drop the links on there. So if you ever see me do that, you're more than welcome to hop on here. And no, I love hanging in your chats. It's a lot of fun. I know Hojo's in there sometimes, and I love that you guys give each other crap for the ranch.
So okay, so did you say you're from Michigan?
I did say I'm from Michigan.
Okay, so your governor's a weirdo, but the most but the video this past week of her and the nacho chips. So. For those of you out there, I don't know if you know who Hojo is, but Hojo disparaged the wonderful Cool Ranch chips, and we have like a bit of a back and forth going on. Right. It's a cold war. It hasn't turned into a hot war yet. But I think this week with what Governor Whitmer did with the nacho chip just shows what a freak Hojo is. Buy Cool Ranch chips. They're by far the better of the chips.
They're tastier. They're delicious. Everyone needs more Cool Ranch chips. That's right. You hear that, Hojo? Yes, I know. You need those cards. Kyle, I know you needed those cards. You made a brand new card just to get the cards. I know. Wow, we got a lot of people going, yes, thank you. Yes. Cool Ranch War, yes. Kev's Big Gretch is awesome too.
Big Gretch.
Kev is also a Michigander as well.
I'm sorry.
It's spicy sweet chili for the win. Oh, yes.
No, I can. That's perfectly acceptable. I can ally myself with just anybody who's not nacho cheese, so it's all good.
Yeah. No, if you go in there, you'll see the go back and forth. It's hilarious to me that happens. Yeah. # Cool Ranch.
Thank you.
See, you guys, the Cool Ranch.
Okay, I feel like I've come home. Your people are my people. This is fantastic. I had a hunch we'd get along, but this confirms it. Yeah.
Yes. And it's funny because we normally talk about hot dogs, which also Cool Ranch goes the best with the hot dog. Mm-hmm. Doesn't yes.
I'm more of a beer brat person, but I'll allow it.
Grand Rapids Listen, there's a lot of Grand Rapids people in my chat right now.
Grand Rapids is beautiful. Yes, beautiful. I recall it was like 10 years ago. People of Grand Rapids made that video. I think they did the American Pie song, but they did it about Grand Rapids. Did you recall seeing that?
Maybe a long time ago.
Okay.
I don't remember most of it because I'm over here. Grand Rapids is over there, so I mean not super over there, but I probably have seen it. Kev most likely have seen it. Wieners, that's right. We are pro wiener in this stream. Kev's in Grand Rapids, so he probably seen it. He probably knows what you're talking about. But yeah. So thanks to everyone that backed. Thanks for hopping on here. We're at 82 people between your channel, my channel, and all the other channels. Let's go, people. Go follow him. Go watch the stuff. Go back this book. Get yourself some cool arts. Get yourself some most bitchin' cards, by the way. Yeah. And then if you do read the book, let him know how you like it. Yeah. Just hit him up. Be like, hey.
You never know. I might use your blurb for the next book.
You might. I know, it's fantastic. All right, we're gonna dance on out of here because I don't have an outro. So get ready. I hope you're ready. Bye, guys.